I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. It's our last one. Welcome to your final announcements of the 22-23 school year. Ramens, we have finally made it. However, there's semester exams next week. Do not forget, you must take those semester exams if you are not exempt. The students who are exempt are ones who have double A's in a class, or you took a state assessment that is related to that class. So your English class, you took the FAST test, biology, you took the biology, EOC, things like that. If you're in an AP class and you took the AP exam, or if you're in a CTE course that took an industry certification, those are the only ways that you can be exempt from the exam. Everyone else will follow the semester exam schedule that starts on Monday. Monday, we will have 3 testing blocks. Tuesday, we will have 2 testing blocks, and Wednesday, we will have 2 testing blocks. So for main campus periods, it will be 1st, 2nd, and 7th on Monday, 3rd and 4th on Tuesday, and 5th and 6th on Wednesday. Your teachers should have permission slips in their box to hand out to this period, their homeroom class, so that you can get off campus after your last test if that happens before the end of the school day. So make sure that you are getting those permission slips so that you can get your signature to leave early. If you need a copy of the semester exam schedule, it is on the, parent newsletter that was sent out this past Sunday and the Sunday before that. So make sure that you are checking that. I think that's all that I have for right now.
If you're on the list for summer school, you will be getting a talking points message to your parents within the next couple days to notify that you are going to be in that. Again, continue to email us or your guidance counselor if you are curious as to if you need to do credit retrieval. If you think you do, you might have to. So be sure to just check in. Most of the people, like I said, that have emailed us, you're already on the list, but we want to be able to support you. Like Ms. Meyer said, it's the last day. Next week, it's down to the wire. So make sure you're using your time wisely. And have a great summer if we don't see you.
Hey, good morning. So parent-family engagement planning. So teachers, this is for you. I did send out an email this morning. We are looking for up to 5 teachers paid. This is a paid gig. We got 2 meetings we're going to try to do between now and May 30th. And they're going to be real quick. We're going to try to start the first one next week and then finish one on Teachers Workday. We can probably Zoom them so it won't be too painful. And it is a paid gig. I have to reiterate that. We think it's $18.50 an hour. Is that right, Ms. Myers? We're pretty sure it's $18.50. Because the old days it was $13.50. So hopefully it's moved up. But either way, you get paid. So email me or Miss Hurst, or I think Miss Shirley's also going to be asking about that as well. So we're going to offer the first 5 teachers the opportunity to do that. Parents, if there's any of you watching, parents, we need you as well. We need as many of you as we can. We can't pay you, but we would love to have you. So also I want to thank everybody for the cards and the well-wishing that I've been getting. Some of the students have passed along cards. I've gotten some from teachers. Those are very appreciated, and I'm very thankful to get those. We thank you so much.
Hey, we already got our first teacher. That's what I was trying to interrupt and say.
Oh, did we? Who?
Yes. Miss Treamer. Shout out to Miss Treamer.
Miss Treamer.
Freshmen, just a reminder, today is your last day as well, prior to testing. So please check with your teachers. You will get your those all important slips to be able to go off campus after testing through your ELA classes today. So your English teachers are the ones who will give those to you. Also, they're going to briefly review with you how semester exams work. Now, keep in mind the same thing Ms. Myers said for main campus applies here. ELA, no semester test. Algebra, not Algebra 1A, but Algebra, no semester test. Geometry, no semester test. Biology, no semester test. Okay? So, keep in mind that you do not have to take a test in those classes. So, for example, if you have algebra and English on the same day, like Tuesday, third and fourth period, you don't really have a test to take. So if you come, what we're going to do is you're going to go sit in a room for 2 hours and be quiet while everyone else tests. And then you're going to have to do that again after the break. So I'm just letting you know what's waiting for you if you're here and you don't have to take a test, because we have to have you in the place that you have to be. So just kind of keep that in mind, because your tests are going to be, for a lot of you, very limited next week. But please make sure you understand the days you have to be here and the times you have to test. I sent you the information. Get in your email. You have an email from me that has the schedule attached. So review it today. If you have questions, there are all these people around. Miss Shirley and I are in these obnoxiously loud Brahmin shirts. How can you not see us today? So ask questions if you need.
Oh my.
Ask questions if you need to. And so we can get everybody where they need to be today, as we spend our last day collectively with the class of 2026.
Aww.
Show us your shirt.
Yeah, I want to know where you got that.
Are they nice?
Yeah.
This is what we wore last year for Tacky Tourist Day. We were matching Hawaiian Brahmin ladies.
This is
You win.
officially now my spring football game shirt.
Yes.
That's it. Every year, new tradition for me.
Yes. Good stuff. All right, guys. So same here. So Mr. Stewart and I have been talking the last couple of days here about getting together with our PFEP team. And so also from the freshman campus, we work together with OHS, because we're all one school, to do our PFEP. So we're also going to need 1 to 2 teachers from the freshman campus site that are interested. And just like Mr. Stewart said, we're going to be having those meetings here up until the 30th. So if you're interested, please let me know. The first 1 to 2 will get to join that team with us. Thank you.
All right. I want to end these final announcements with a quote. It is said that success is the sum of small efforts repeated day in and day out. And I truly believe that this school year has been a success. Both campuses, we have come out of some hard, difficult years. And even though we've struggled, there's been things that have come up that have been difficult, whether that be personally, academically, socially. There are still successes to celebrate. What makes Okeechobee High School so special is the tradition that is here within the school, but also the people that carry on that tradition, from our staff members, our faculty, and our students. The decisions that you make every single day to place priority on the work that we do here is what has made this year so successful. So congratulations to you. Keep making those good decisions day in and day out. Today, all through semester exam week and into your summer. Stay safe. Make it a good one, as together we
move forward
And be great.
And be
Brahmins.
all
day.
day.
If you ever feel like you may hurt yourself or others, or have thoughts about taking your own life, get help right away. Call 911, a suicide crisis helpline, or go to your nearest emergency department. Addiction can be very harmful to both you and those around you. For some drugs, all it takes is one time for addiction to begin. Drug use can lead to motor vehicle crashes and other accidents, overdose, and death. The best way to avoid the consequences of drug use and addiction is to avoid starting in the first place. Drug addiction is a condition that is both preventable and treatable. Work with your healthcare provider, counselor, and family to come up with a plan to give you the best chance of getting and staying clean.
What are the consequences of substance use and abuse? Teachers, please pause the video now to allow students to brainstorm some answers to this question. At first, you may choose to take a drug because you like the way it makes you feel. You believe that you are in complete control on how much and how often you choose to use it. However, over time, the use of drugs changes how your brain functions. These changes are damaging and can last a long time, and in some cases for a lifetime. They can make you lose control, make poor choices, and lead to damaging behaviors and outcomes. According to WebMD.com, drug abuse, which is using legal or illegal substances in ways that you should not, can lead to addiction. Addiction is when you can't stop, not even when it puts your health in danger or causes devastating issues for you and your loved ones. These addictive drugs target your brain's reward system. The addictive drugs cause too much of the chemical dopamine in your brain, which triggers messages that you need more of the drug to keep the same good feelings. This can cause you to get less pleasure from the activities you used to enjoy, such as family, food, friends, and activities. Watch this video about how substances and addiction can affect your brain and body.
What is addiction? It's also called a substance use disorder. Over 20 million people nationwide suffer from addiction. 1 in 7 people will experience addiction at some point in their life. Scientists first began to understand addiction as a brain disorder back in the 1950s. Doctors Olds and Milner, in laboratory studies of rats, found the parts of the brain affected by addiction. But then in 1994, Doctors Volkoff and Shelbert, top neuroscientists, ran PET scans of the brain that showed the effects of substance use disorders. And like other diseases, these scans showed it affected tissue function. So there are 2 main parts of the brain affected by drug use: the limbic system and the cortex. The limbic system, located deep within the brain, is responsible for our basic survival instincts. So when you do essential things to stay alive, like eat, drink, find shelter, build relationships, or care for your young, your brain reinforces behaviors that cause the release of dopamine from this region. That reward for surviving is also transmitted to the amygdala and hippocampus, which records a memory of that feeling, so we seek it again. This is our survival hardwiring. Addiction also affects this area, up here. That's the prefrontal cortex, which is what separates us from other animals. And this is where decision-making and impulse control live. When drugs or alcohol are used, they activate the very same dopamine process in the survival center. And when use is repeated, that substance can hijack that part of the brain. This hijacker changes the brain and weakens this system to make it believe that the primary need for survival is the drug. In hijacking the brain, it can usurp those primary motivations: food, water, shelter, relationships, and protecting our young. And the hijacker needs more and more of the substance to activate the same level of reward or feeling of pleasure, causing the brain tissue to become increasingly damaged with continued drug use. So why don't all people who use alcohol or drugs become addicted? There are factors that contribute to the development of a substance use disorder. They include individual factors like your genes, your age of exposure, and then environmental factors like drug availability. But there is good news. Addiction is preventable. Key factors that aid in preventing addiction can be categorized into 2 parts: risk factors and protective factors. Protective factors range from parental involvement, programs that improve self-control, limiting availability, and increasing attachment to your community. Another key element in preventing substance use disorders is to delay when use begins. Put simply, prevention is about delaying the onset of first use. In the adolescent brain, where brain tissue is more vulnerable, the hijacker is more prone to weaken the brain and plant itself as a disease. Those with substance use disorders commonly initiate first use much earlier, between 12 and 18 years old, which increases the likelihood of the hijacker taking hold. But if the hijacker does take hold, addiction is treatable. Advancements have been made in assessments, treatment programs, recovery supports, and medications to treat addiction. Brain scans show that once in recovery, the tissue in the limbic system and cortex can get better. With your help, we can expand these innovations to help millions of individuals and families and ensure that addiction is treated as the medical issue that it is. Together, we can solve this. Join us.
Sometimes people use drugs to help them relax, escape stress, or to help them cope. This is not a healthy way to practice self-care. Please remember the idea of self-awareness and responsible decision-making. Do you remember when we talked about self-care back in previous wellness videos? Teachers, please pause the video now to let students review types of healthy self-care. Great. I'm sure you mentioned things like taking care of your personal hygiene, eating well, getting enough sleep, getting some exercise, making time for social activities, and paying attention to your thoughts and feelings. Self-care is the most important way to boost and maintain both emotional and physical health. Many people today neglect it due to a lack of time, and this negatively impacts the lives of those who do not make sure that they are taking care of themselves. Have self-awareness, meaning focus on yourself and how your actions, thoughts, and emotions align with what is best for you. Take care of yourself. Today's relaxation activity is called 4-7-8 breathing. Breathe in through your nose for 4 seconds. Hold your breath for 7 seconds. And then breathe out for 8 seconds. Be sure to take big, deep breaths in through your nose and breathe out through your mouth. Teachers, please pause the video now to review today's material and to practice the 4-7-8 breathing activity. We hope you learned from this lesson. Today's wellness video lesson and activities were developed by our district licensed mental health professionals with the help of district resources and the online resources of the American Academy of Child and Adolescent Psychiatry, the Centers for Disease Control and Prevention, the National Institute on Drug Abuse, and WebMD.com. Remember, we want you to know that it's okay to speak with someone if you feel you need some help or support. Teachers are available and you can always see your school counselor. You can also speak to your trusted adults and parents or guardians. We hope you enjoyed today's lesson and we look forward to seeing you for our next wellness video.